la ciencia. Let that shit bang, nigga.
What's up, boys? We are editing the video you're watching right now, and we forgot to say what we're actually doing. So I'm gonna tell you right now, we were invited by our good friend SWAMI D.
My good old boy SWAMI D.
The man himself, who we met at a poker table at the Hideaway. One of the hottest rappers in the country of Nepal. He invited us to be extras in his newest music video. So this video is a little combo of us doing that and us playing a little poker. We hope you enjoy.
I don't know what else I'm supposed to say after that.
Few hundred down the drain. However,
We'll make it back in poker.
We'll make it back in poker. We're looking good. We're hyped for the shoot.
It's gonna be awesome.
SWAMI D, we're on the way, baby. Let's go!
En la ciencia.
Howdy, guys.
Welcome to my crib, MTV.
Come on.
Boys, this is Showbiz. We just got all dressed up in our cowboy gear. Jello just showed up.
What's going on?
Frankie's all dolled up. And we just got the text from SWAMI D that they are running behind and our scene will be shot tomorrow. And I think we can still turn this into something.
Yo, let's play some poker. I'm down for some poke, boys.
You think the Hideaway would like it if we pulled up like this?
A little early Halloween action?
I don't think they'd mind. I don't think they'd mind one bit.
Let's fucking do it.
Let's go run it up, boys. We just knew we couldn't post a video without giving you guys some poker content.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd go run it up.
We knew you fiends wanted a hand, aka we're degenerates.
Yeah, that's us. We're the fiends.
We're degens and we really wanted to play poker even though we worked all day. All right, we're gonna try to run it up today, dressed up like this.
Another day of filming tomorrow. Let's make some money in between.
Yeah.
Let's show SWAMI D some racks, baby.
Yes,
This
sir.
is for SWAMI D. So we pull up to the Hideaway, I sit down, unrack my chips, and we pick up pocket nines in the cutoff for our very first hand of the night. There are two limps to me, and I raise it to $15. I'm frantically searching for my phone at this point because I need to start recording. I actually missed the pre-flop action. The button called my $15 bet, and Frank in the big blind actually calls as well. So we go to a flop three ways. We see a flop of 2, 4, 5, 2 hearts, and 1 diamond. Frankie checks to me and I decide to bet again here for $17. The button decides to actually raise us to $60, which is a little alarming. However, I think there are a lot of holdings that I'm still ahead of that he could be raising here with, such as a flush draw, maybe an open-ended straight draw with the 3, or some sort of weird top pair like ace-5. When Frank folds, I decide just to make the call here and assess a turn. Comes one of the easier turns to assess. It is the 9 of diamonds, giving us pretty much second nuts after straight on the flop, and we decide to check again to the button, who raises it up to $75. Here my mind's made up. I only have about $228 behind, and so I decide to just rip it all in here because there are a lot of draws that I'm well ahead of that he can still make the call here. So I jam it all in for $228, and the button tanks, which is a great sign for me because now I know I'm ahead of him. He's likely not going to tank with a flop straight. After I jam, he calls, and we go to a river. We see the river of 7 of diamonds. I flip over my hand, I flip over my top set, and we are good. We scoop up a complete double up for our very first hand sitting down. Wow, that was a nice way to start off the session. Let's go.
This hand requires just a tiny bit of context. Luckily, that context happens right before the hand. This gentleman right here, as you can see, bets $100 and is called by this lady. He loses this pot as he was trying to bluff. This was a very active player, and he lost a big one there. Fast forward, next hand out. Pocket kings, baby. Cowboys in the cowboy outfit. textbook stuff. Middle position, this same gentleman from the last hand raises to $15. The small blind makes the call. It is on to me. We are obviously going to raise this up with the second best hand in the game, wearing our cowboy outfit. I make it $55. The middle position player calls, and the small blind calls as well. So we are heading 3 ways to a flop. What's the one thing you don't want to see on a flop with pocket kings, boys? Yep. Ace 7-3 rainbow, multi-way, fun stuff. Small blind checks, I check as well. And our friend across from us rips it all in for $123. Small blind folds, and now it's decision time. It being multi-way makes it very likely that someone could have an ace. It's also a 3-bet pot, makes it more likely someone could have an ace. But we also have to look at our context clues. What happened the hand before? This guy lost a big pot. Maybe he's a little tilted. Maybe he's trying to win it back quickly. Normally, I could probably let this go, honestly, it being multi-way. It really comes down to the player type over what the numbers say here. And I'm a big numbers guy, as you guys know, but there's always a time you got to deviate from those numbers and go with the gut, go with what you've seen from a psychological standpoint. So after a lot of thinking, I make the call. Here we go, boys.
Kings might be good. Nailed it. King high, buddy.
King high, boys. Let's ride. We take it down. The hero call on the flop with Kiggities. We take a $400 plus pot down with Cowboys in a cowboy outfit. Just had that Cowboys hand in the cowboy outfit. Literally, the poker gods must know what we're doing because that's just poetic. Made a very tough call on an ace high flop, but had to take into account the player type. And we did, and we were right, so good win. These guys want to say what's up to the vlog.
Hey, what's up, guys? We just at the Hideaway.
Yeah.
Playing this poker game. It's a great night.
This guy, he too good.
He's the best right here, man.
I love it.
It's all good.
Here's another mid-session, pretty fun hand for you guys. I pick up ace-king offsuit in the hijack, and when it folds to me, I raise it to $12. And we see a quick 3-bet from the cutoff. I don't have a ton of information on this player, and my table is fairly light. They're not 3-betting too often, so I took this 3-bet pretty seriously. And it folds around to me, I just decide to make the call rather than tossing in a 4-bet, just to assess a flop. We see a flop of ace of hearts, 4 diamonds, 5 of hearts. So this is a pretty good flop for me. I don't have any red in my hand, however, I'm not too scared here. I check, and the cutoff fires into me for $60. I just decide to make a smooth call here as I'm ahead of almost all of his holdings I can think of, besides maybe a flop set of 4s or 5s. The turn comes the 10 of clubs, and this isn't too scary of a card, however, I still decide to check it over to the cutoff, and the cutoff decides to slow down here and check back to me. When the river comes to 6 of diamonds, almost every draw misses, and I'm ahead of almost all of his 3-betting range that I can put him on, besides maybe pocket 10s, which I think he'd be firing on the turn. A lot of his hands are capped around jacks, queens, kings, and maybe any weaker ace that I can definitely get value from on this river. So I decide to bet $60 as thin value here because I think a lot of his 3-bet holdings are going to be calling me here. Cutoff raises me to 155, and this is where I go into the tank because a river raise is almost always for value. However, he could be overvaluing his hand because I've kind of under-repped my ace-king here. He might have a weaker ace in his hand that I definitely can beat, and I think my hand's just a little too strong to be folding here. So I go ahead and make the call for $155 total, and he flips over ace-6 offsuit for the river 2-pair. My assessment was right, however, I really overjudged his 3-betting range and didn't think ace-6 was going to be in there. I'm not sure if I really could have played it differently. Maybe tossing a 4-bet to get him to fold pre-flop. Let me know what you guys think about this hand. I'm really interested to hear if you guys have any ideas on this.
Here we are late into the night at the Hideaway. My table had started to slowly break, and we looked across the table and there's only 4 of us left. So in the big blind we pick up 6-7 of clubs here. The under the gun player makes the limp for $2, button calls, small blind completes, and here I decide to bump it up to $15. So trying to fold people out, I do bump it up, and that's not what happens. Everyone makes the call, so we're going to a flop multi-way and an inflated pot, to say that. The flop comes 10-6-6, so an amazing flop for us, obviously. When it checks to me, I decide to make the check. If your alarms just went off there, yeah, mine did too. I don't know why I make the check here. I think I should be betting here. Although my logic in the moment was that, oh, I'm going to slow play because no one would think I have a 6 here. Well, that reverse logic is also true. If I bet, no one will think I have a 6, so I can get some value. And the under the gun player decides to save us and bet $10. The person on the button makes the call, small blind folds, and it's back to me, and you're probably thinking, how much am I going to raise it here? No, I decide to slow play again and just make the call. Again, I do not like that play. I think I should be raising here after just checking the flop. So we're off to the turn with a very disguised hand, and it is the 9 of hearts. So now the board is even more connected, and I decided to check here in flow to the aggressor, which makes a lot of sense. I'm fine with that play. And he leads out for $20, and the person on the button folds, and it's back to me. So I bumped up to $80 here, and now he jams all in for $180. So not the result we were looking for at all. Given that the pot is already inflated and it's only $100 more to call, I decide to make the call here, as he can have a lot of draws that I am ahead of. Nope, that is not the case, as he flips over 8-9 for the turned straight. Thankfully, it was a nice dude, and he offered to run it 3 times for me, and I gladly accepted. We go off to a river here. I'll show you guys in live speed.
It's beautiful, man!
Bink on the turn, we get there, and yeah, we're lucky to split this pot up. We get 1/3 of the pot, and the opponent gets 2/3 of it.
Unfortunately, I missed most of the recording for this one, but we're still going to go over it because it's pretty important. I pick up pocket 8 under the gun, and I decide to raise it up to $10. Under the gun plus 1 calls, the cutoff calls, and the button calls. So we go to a flop 4 ways, and we see a flop of ace, ace, deuce. So 2 aces, 1, 2. Not a great flop for 8s, but not too bad. I check, and under the gun plus 1 bets $15. It's fully around to me, and I decide I can still make the call here profitably, as he might be betting a 2 as well. I call, and the turn is a nice one. It is the 8. So we continue here with a check, hoping to see another bet from under the gun plus 1, which he does. He bets $55. I think here it's time to put in a little check raise, so I bet $125, hoping that he's got something like a weak ace, or even a strong ace would be nice too. I raised to $125, and he actually jams on me for about $400. My mind's already made up. I snap called, put all my money in there immediately. The under the gun plus 1 actually asked me to run it twice here, and that makes me think he's got pretty much any weak ace, and I actually decide to tell him no, I would just want to run it once. I guess I could go for running it twice here, a little low variance route. However, this is the biggest pot of my life. I want to make sure I scoop it all, so I decide to run it just once. And he flips over ace-7 offsuit, and we will show you what happens on the river here. I'll let you guys watch for yourselves. Yeah, so we get a fine taste of karma, as we should have probably ran it twice. But nothing really I can do here. I'm not mad about my play. I think I made the right call. What's up, guys? Aaron just stacked us here pretty bad. Tough beat, but it was a great hand. We're happy to show.
Jello. Aaron owns him.
Fuck it, I'm out. I was about to get
You wanted to run it twice though, right?
I wanted to run it twice. You wanted to run it once, man.
What's up, boys?
Oh man.
Cowboys are saddling up and sending it back to Dallas. I'll start us off. Kind of a weird session for me. Lost $175, but I lost majority of it when it went down to 4-handed.
Played one hand, really got into one big pot with Cowboys, pocket kings, so pretty cool to get that one going. Into the game for 360, out for 507, so almost $150 in profit. Solid night for me.
I started off the night, very first hand doubled up, was at about 650 right away, and then caught 2 pretty bad beats. You'll see the last one was probably one of the worst beats I've ever had in my life. Yeah, I don't really know how to change that, but yeah, we were stuck 300 tonight.
We will be going back tomorrow and filming our scene, so that should be pretty fun.
Try not to catch any spooky beats like me.
About to film our first shot as extras. Gonna be in the background of the scene, just talking to some models, you know what we do. Gonna show them a card trick. Stay tuned.
I'm crazy like pineapple. I'm crazy crazy like pineapple. Crazy, I'm crazy, I'm crazy like pineapple. Crazy, I'm crazy, I'm crazy like pineapple.
What's up, boys? We're here with the one, the only SWAMI D.
SWAMI gang.
We just had a great day 2 of shooting, wrapped it up, went amazing. The video is gonna look great. This guy killed it.
Song is awesome. Make sure to check it out, boys. It's gonna come out January, maybe late December. We'll link you guys up.
It's gonna be big. We love the opportunities we're getting from the channel. SWAMI D is the #1 homie. We are so excited for what's to come.
Thank you to this man, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.
And shout out to Next Gen Poker.
Yes,
They're my
sir!